If you're an autism parent living in BC, you got to watch this episode. We're going to dissect the 3 new programs coming in 2027, what one your child qualifies for. Today, we're going to go through program number 1 out of the 3. So let's get into it. Hey, I'm Steph, founder and CEO at Awesome Match Autism Services. I'm here today with my host, Angela, RDI consultant in CIT, also an autism mom like mine. Okay, quick thing before we get into this. Only about 30% of BC autism families are going to qualify for the BC Children and Youth Disability Benefit. So here's what I'm going to suggest. Grab your notes app or maybe a piece of paper and pen. You might be here with us for literally only 2 minutes and learn that you're the 70% who don't qualify for this one. And then we're going to point you straight to the next episode, which, spoiler alert, you almost certainly do. However, if you are the 30%, make sure you grab a pen and some paper, or again, your notes app, because this one matters a lot for your family and there are details that you are going to need to write down. And one more thing, we don't use functional labels on this channel because we think labels do more harm than good in most contexts. But the government does use them for determining the eligibility for this benefit, so we do have to talk about them today. If you want to understand your child's assessment and what it actually means in terms of the levels, we do have a document here in plain English. We have the free guide. It's called How to Find Your Child's Support Needs Profile. Just comment guide, please, and we'll make sure to get this to you. What is the benefit?
The benefit. So the benefit is the one that I think is causing a lot of turmoil for a lot of families, because where you may have once received the benefit, the AFU funding, a lot of these families, they're not going to be receiving anything.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind to understand as well. On February 10th, which is exactly 1 month today from when we're filming this on March 10th, they dropped a document that left a lot of questions unanswered. They updated it last few days of February, I believe, is when they last updated it. We have a little bit more clarity, which we're going to go over today. However, they're still not very clear. I spoke with a couple of people who have been in talks with Emily Horton and getting some updates, and it sounds like the government still isn't very clear. So we're going to do our very best today to remain neutral and give you the up-to-date information that we have right now as it pertains to yourself. And again, if the benefit, if you recognize right away this isn't for you, you can skip this episode.
Yeah, it's a lot. Unfortunately, we know it's not going to apply for up to 70%.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Families. So unfortunately, if you feel like your child doesn't kind of fit in this category, sorry.
Let's just walk through the other ones together. So we're in it with you guys. So let's just go to a couple of things. So the program one that we're talking about today, which is the BC Child and Youth Disability Benefit.
Yes.
So this one applies for about 30% of kiddos. And in its simplest form, how you know if your kiddo is eligible for this is, are they a level 1 with an intellectual disability? So must have the 2. A level 2 with an intellectual disability, or a level 3.
Level 3.
That's the easiest way of saying it. That is what they call a direct pathway.
Right. And we'll get into the other pathways and whatnot. But, and what we know is that under this benefit, you will have access to either Tier 1, which is $6,500, or Tier 2, which is $17,000.
But here's the kicker, guys, and write this one down. Every family, every child and youth that does qualify as the 30% that will get this, estimated 30% that will get this, they all start at $6,500 a year. Now, I'm going to bring that up a second here, because what our team did is our team sent out a survey to RASP service providers asking for their input, and 80% so far that we are receiving in this survey, 80% of RAS providers are stating that they have concerns because $6,500 a year for any one service is not enough to help these kiddos, these 30% of kiddos that qualify, that are medium or high supports needed. $6,500 a year is a very small amount, guys. So
we already know for the kids in the current system who are over 6 years old, 6,000 that have access to 6,000, that is not enough. And those are for the maybe even the level 1 ollies,
Yeah.
and it's still not enough to have your maybe once every few months SLP, your BI services, your tutoring, your mental
Mhm.
health component.
Mhm.
It's not enough, and now we're going to be giving this to the level 2s and level 3s.
Mhm. And
Ugh.
an update as current as last week was stating that they don't know yet the definitive objective assessment they are going to be using to say this child has to go from 6,500 a year to the 17,000. So it's one or the other. There's no kind of in
Yeah.
between. It's not like you might get 12,000. It's
Yeah,
not. You're
it's not a
you're at the
sliding
60.
scale
It's not. You're at 65,000 6,500 a year. Or
or
if they identify after you've had that amount, if they identify that you need further supports, they will put you into the 17,000. So another way to talk about this, so we did discuss, level 1 with intellectual disability or level 2 with intellectual disability or level 3. To add to it, so for you parents who have kiddos that right now are getting at home programs, so that's where you get the additional 5,700 a year for an OT, an additional 5,700 a year for SLP on top of your 6,000 you're getting for your child right now. That is about 17,000 you're getting right now. You are going to automatically be eligible for this benefit. However, you are getting about $17,000 a year for three different kinds of therapy types. Now you are automatically going to 6,500 a year. You'll have to choose between one of those three therapy types.
it's we're staying neutral.
Indirect is when it's kind of a gray area if you
Yeah.
qualify. Maybe it is your, what they would say, parental subjective opinion that your child qualifies. However, you kind of need to do that work again to advocate for your
Yeah.
child's needs in order to get it. So one way is the direct. It's black and white. Your child qualifies based on what we said, and the next pathway is indirect. That is the advocacy pathway that you're going to have to advocate for your child in its simplest form. I think. Hey, Angela.
Yeah, it's never over. A parent's job of advocating. It's never
Right.
done.
Yeah. So let's touch on that a little bit. So we already kind of mentioned direct pathway. The ones that have at-home funding are automatically in the direct pathway. The ones that have level 1, 2 with intellectual disability are level 3 in the DSM-5 level 3. And then co-current conditions. If you have self-injurious behaviors and your child is, so self-injurious behaviors, we know a lot of kiddos that do have some, so we'll touch on that in a minute. The direct pathway is your child has significant self-injurious behaviors and is already going through the self-injurious behaviors SIB clinics. Also, if they have bipolar psychosis or extreme harm to others. Oh,
Sorry. I'm sorry that I'm coughing. I just got over being sick, and it's like we need this information to get out, so I apologize. But this was a priority for us. So.
Yeah. So just a little caveat here, guys. I just want to make sure we understand. The direct pathway for self-injurious behaviors, it's not self-identity or self-identifying for your child. It's only if your child is going to one of the 2 SIB clinics in BC already,
Right.
because that means you have already been assessed through a
Yes.
professional team that is stating that you qualify. It's pretty much just administration to say that you would qualify for that. So guys, if you have that, if your child does show signs of self-injurious behavior or harm to others, please know that you will now have to go in the indirect pathway, which is the advocacy part. Yeah. How do we feel about the
Right.
pathways there, Angela?
Yeah, well, the pathways, they are the only options we have.
I think it's a little bit, I just want to touch for a second for you guys because I just want to sit in a moment with you. If you're hearing this and your heart is heavy, ours is too. We're parents of kiddos on the spectrum. And I feel like a lot of us, actually, I don't know any parent that will tell you that it was a breeze to have an assessment. I think parents have already gone through this phase at some point, if you're here and listening to this, that you have already gone through having to advocate for your child with pediatricians, with doctors, with schools, with take cares. You've probably had struggles in your career,
Family.
all of the things just to prove that your child needs help to begin with.
Yeah.
I want to sit with you for a moment and I want to honor that you have to go through this again. in the or in the advocacy for your child to access the indirect pathway if you think your child qualifies for that.
Yeah,
My heart's with you.
it's incredibly hard.
Yeah.
And our hearts are out there with all the parents that are having to go through this, and maybe this is bringing up a lot of trauma for a lot of families who have done their jobs to get they've advocated, they've done everything they could, and they finally feel like they're in the right place just to have, everything change again. So we're here with you. We 100% get that. The parents I've been talking to and working with are not one of them
Mm.
is looking forward to this change, even though they may be able to, benefit from all the programs. They're like, why are they doing this to the families, anyways.
Have to go and prove it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it strikes up a lot of feelings for sure. And I want to be clear here, folks. You might be sitting here going, okay, you're telling me that I have to advocate for my child, but how? We don't have answers for you yet. No one does. So right now, the how is phase 1 is starting in April, where MCFD is going to start, or CYSN, sorry, is going to start contacting those
That home program.
that have the at-home program. That is the first phase of contacting people to start these benefits. Again, if you have the at-home program, you're getting $17,000+ worth of funding a year. Currently, and starting as soon as next month in April, you'll start being contacted, and that will automatically start at $6,500. In terms of the indirect pathway, there's no indication of when parents can start applying for the advocacy in the indirect pathway. We will let you know and update the comment section here as soon as we know that information. Any updates that come in with this benefits, we will drop in the comments as it comes in, guys. So save the link for this video so you can come back and you can learn a little bit more.
One thing I wanted to touch on is the difference between intellectual disability
Oh yeah, thank you for that.
and like a learning disability, because
big one.
that seems to be a big a topic that parents may not understand the distinction between.
Yeah, I agree.
So a learning disability such as, like, say, dyslexia, dysgraphia, something that a lot of ADHD kiddos may have.
Yeah, it's a processing thing.
It's a processing
It's the
thing.
way your brain
So
processes things, guys.
that is not an intellectual disability. An
No.
intellectual disability is something that is actually a lower IQ score
Across the board, yeah.
across the board, and it's something that's diagnosed.
Right.
So this may for some people on their assessments, on
Mhm.
their autism assessment, it may look like global development delay.
Yeah.
That is something typically that psychologists will use if the child is young, because they aren't at an age yet that they can determine if it is an intellectual disability. Or it might just say moderate or mild, severe
Right.
intellectual disability.
Yeah, we've had many parents that are like, "Oh, my child has a learning disability," and yes, but again, as Angela is saying, that's very different. So, yeah, make sure you look at your paperwork. Make sure you have it there, because that is going to be your direct pathway where you do not have to advocate for your child. If it states intellectual disability definitively, black and white, you're in.
Yeah.
I want to take a very quick moment before we go on to the next topic. Angela and I were talking about this a little bit earlier today. There's a study that we came across that was done in 2025. And it was a study about children who do not have an intellectual
Right.
disability. It was done. Using. Sorry, let me just see if I have it up here. Actually, I'm going to read this out to you here. So I'm just going to read a couple sections. A recent study this is from 2025. A recent study has shed light on the alarming rates on self-injurious thoughts and behaviors among autistic youth without intellectual disabilities. So these are adolescents aged 10 to 17. This was done at the Vanderbilt University Medical Center. And the findings revealed that 83% of these kiddos that do not have an intellectual disability in between the ages of 10 and 17, 83% reported experiencing suicidal thoughts during their lifetime. Those thoughts ranged from notions of not waking up to more specific plans involving methods of cutting Disturbingly, nearly 1 in the 4 youth attempted suicide. This highlights the acute risk faced by this population. Additionally, half of those children with suicidal ideations did not disclose their feelings to their carers, posing significant challenges for timely intervention. I'm just going to take a moment to sit with the parents of the Ollies who this affects. And that's it. Go on to the next one. Okay, so back to this is just we really wanted to make sure that you guys understood that this is the population that is not going to be accepted through the direct pathway, at least for the benefits, which means that this is the population, alarming population with very big considerations for mental health. So please take programs 2 and 3 that we're going to discuss in later episodes very seriously. Our kiddos it's showing, the statistics are showing these kiddos in between the ages of 10 and 17 are not coming to talk to even us, their parents as carers, about these very serious thoughts. So we're feeling it with you. Hey guys, before I go on to the next topic, I just want to talk really quickly about the gap. And what I mean by the gap is there is a gap in services, a gap in supplement, a gap in what we can expect for our kids. And I know that this kind of applies to all 3 programs. So I'm probably going to say in all 3 of these program episodes that we do. For the benefits is starting to roll out as of April 2026. They expect the rollout to be done by the time autism funding expires on March 31st, 2027. Cool. Now, parents that are currently getting autism funding, if they want to take their supplement and they want to do something equivalent, just know that there is a 4-month gap. So you do not get your first supplement payment until July. They're anticipating July 20th alongside your child tax benefits. So now you have April, May, June, and some of July, most of July, where you don't have funding or the supplement for continued therapy. That's going to matter to your service providers if you choose to continue with services. So please have those conversations with your service providers, see if they are staying open through this or what their plans are, and determine if your family has the ability to maybe put some money aside for that. Good news is if you are applying for disability tax credit and you haven't gotten it yet, you will get some back pay. So hopefully you'll get some back pay. Yeah. Majority of people do. So you can always take that and put that onto therapy.
Use that towards therapy.
Yeah, float it. That's what it's there for. I just wanted to give that gap. Another gap I just want to address super quick. And I'm going to start with, we don't really have a very clear understanding of this, but I'm going to talk to you about what my understanding is as I'm reading this as a professional who has tried to dissect this. It seems like the community centers, which again is another episode, they are opening for behavior and mental health supports spring of 2027. So it sounds as though if your child is already getting mental health supports or behavior supports, you would quickly assume, okay, that's good because there's no gap there.
Yeah.
However, they're not really releasing the timeline for that, the how to apply for that, when to apply for that. And it seems as though that's more geared towards those with medium to high supports needed for mental health and behavioral intervention to some degree. So it sounds like those are the highest supports needed for them will be getting maybe some one-on-one care at that point. Because then if you look into what happens in spring of 2028, it says programs enter. And so what I assume the programs I assume the programs, again, we don't have the clear information, are like the group or social programs, that kind of thing. So if your kiddo is on the lower supports, medium supports needed, your child might be in the category of filtering into the programs, which doesn't start until spring of 2028. So you'll have a whole year without access to these free community centers. So just wanted to keep that.
Not to mention waitlist.
Yeah, and it sounds like they're also
take that into consideration.
It sounds like they are saying that the priority is going to go to those who don't have the benefits. So if you have the benefits, you won't be able to access. Kind of like right now, like through the child development centers, most of them is like if you have funding, please go use your funding, because we have to conserve our time and our
For the
and
kids
efforts for
that
the
don't.
kiddos that don't have
Yeah.
funding. All the same, it's the same thing. So I believe what's going to happen is the priority is going to go to the kids that don't have benefits. So if you have benefits and you've stayed tuned until here, you think you have benefits, I wouldn't count on the community centers to be something you're accessing right when AFU ends alongside. So when we mentioned that benefits, you'll probably have to choose between one of the three therapy types, or however many therapy types you have
Yeah.
right now: OT, SLP, behavioral. It sounds like you're not going to be able to access the other two, possibly. Again, this is all up in the air. So just wanted to address that gap before we move on to our next topic, which is the transition timeline. Okay, so let's go over the transition timeline and how we'll be contacted, or what we know now of how we'll be contacted by MCFD CYSN. So, what we do know is April 2026, phase one, they're going to start contacting families that have the at home program, which we kind of already mentioned. That is cohort one. So that'll be in between April of 2026 and July. Starting in July, they'll start contacting AFU families. That is cohort two. Those are the ones currently in AFU. And again, March 31st, AFU ends, and April 2027 is the full rollout. So if you're currently on AFU and you do not need to redo planning documentation, you don't need to get reassessed, you don't need to do anything right now. Don't jump to anything
Yeah.
right now. Don't try and prove yourself with the indirect pathway. Don't try and contact your social worker right now and flood their lines with, is my child going to be accepted through the indirect pathway? We do not know yet. We will update you as soon as we know. However,
Here's something important the booklet does not tell us.
yeah.
It says families will be contacted starting July 2026. It does not say how. No mention of letter, email, or phone call. Here's what we think is going to happen. We want to be clear that this is our best read, not confirmed. So MCFD already has your child's ASD assessment on file.
Yep.
Our assumption is they'll review those files and sort families into either path 1 or path 2 based on what's already in the system.
Mm-hmm.
If your child is path 1, they likely move forward automatically. If your child is path 2, we think families get notified and the needs-based assessment process begins. The challenge? A lot of families don't have an assigned social worker anymore.
No.
MCFD moved away from that model a while back, so you might not have a direct person to call. Our honest advice: watch everything. Watch your email, watch your mail, watch your voicemail, starting now through the end of 2026. With 27,000 kids to review, this process is going to take months.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll take months.
The letter or email or call might not come in July. It might come after. Well, we're going to update our website the moment we know more. So you can sign up on our website to get those updates sent directly to you. We want clear, plain English language, no doom scrolling, no panic, okay?
No, guys. Hey, and just a little disclaimer too. Like, Facebook is great. It's a great sense of community, and you go along this journey with other parents. But just know that there are a lot of parents that are experiencing this in different ways, and
Yeah.
the facts that some parents are giving are not actual facts, guys. So make sure
Right.
you're fact checking everything, or just stay with us, and we'll give you as best updates as we
Yeah.
get them. Yeah.
So we've been getting bombarded with questions from parents.
Yep.
They want the real deal answers. So
We'll
I'm
try.
gonna I'm gonna ask a few questions and let's try to give as much information as we can.
Deal.
So one question we have: my child is under 6 and currently gets $22,000 a year in therapy.
Yep.
Through SLP, OT, and behavior therapy.
Yeah.
Since they're young and milestones aren't there yet,
Yeah.
do they still qualify starting at 6,500? And
Mm.
if the funding drops, how do I choose between therapies? How do I know what to prioritize?
Oof.
Mm.
Early intervention has always been something that is really spotlighted in the autism community. Recognizing your child has autism young is a tough one, and even getting your child diagnosed,
Yeah.
especially here in BC, there's sometimes like a 3-year wait in Sunny Hills. So for those parents who did get it done early, whether that's you got through Sunny Hill early or you invested all of that money for
Right.
that diagnosis to be able to get this funding, I'm sorry you're going through this again. I'll just start with that. it does not mean that you get the benefit because your child has not hit the milestones yet because they're under 6. It does not mean you automatically qualify. That does not put you in a direct pathway, sadly. Um, Now, if you did qualify and you do get in and you do get that 65, the next question was, how do I choose? Because right now, typically,
Yeah.
you'll have a larger team or more specialists or more time. Right now, what I can say as a service provider is $6,000 will typically get you, from a behavioral standpoint, it'll get you maybe one session per week. For if you decide that your OT goals are really important and you're going to go in the OT direction, or your speech language goals are really important, you're going to go in the SLP direction. That looks like about one session every 2 weeks that you can afford. So it's almost like you have to decide what goal is the most important for you and your family right now. I'm always going to, me as Steph, just generically as a human, I'm always going to advise to look well into your future. What would you like for your child? What do you want to see for your child? And work on those goals in reverse engineer order. So, instead of being like, it's really important for my child to tie up their shoes, sure it is. It's also incredibly important that your child has self-regulation
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. So to answer your question, parents, what do I do? Um, Make a decision in the best interest of your family, where you want your child to be in the future. Decide between one of those 3 models and prepare for it. Yeah. All right.
O-
Next.
Okay, question 2.
Okay.
How do I explain to my child that
Mhm.
they might lose therapists they've built relationships with? This one breaks my
Okay.
heart.
So I want to answer that for all of you. My answer is talk to your service provider. If you have a BI that's been working with your kiddo for a long time, I know we've experienced that here in our family.
Yeah.
You're experiencing that.
Yeah.
I think talking to the service provider and coming up with a plan that is custom for your child is very important. I know one of the methods we'll be using is at our clinic is graduating children. You've reached milestones, you're doing great, you've graduated. Kind of like there's going to be no easy way to do this, but I think that every child is different and every child is going to require something else, and same with their service provider. This is hurting their service provider and their bond they have with their child. It's easy for us to say our children have bonded with these service providers, but these service providers have also bonded with these
Right.
children. Create a plan with them, not me here on this episode. um, have a candid conversation, but have them very well in advance. Please hear me on this. There's going to be nothing worse than these service providers who have multiple families to consider that are just bombarded with all of these things they have to do on the last week of services. Please don't do that to them. You're going to have a lower quality of care. Start the transition early, start the talk early, make it custom to your child, make it in a way that creates a lot of positive memory bank experiences for them. Pair it with something they love, and do the best to continue to educate yourself as a parent. That is our responsibility as parents, high quality parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this last question was one I actually was just asked by a parent yesterday.
Okay, I'm here for it.
And I'm sure your advice is going to be very similar to mine.
Okay.
But she said, "Okay, I'm most likely not going to be receiving very little funding at all through the supplement."
Mm,
She's like, "I have this year to figure out what else I can do for my child."
yeah.
She's like, "I want to do what I can.
Yeah.
What do you suggest I can do?"
Parent education.
Yes.
We are, you know what? You're not in control of the government. We're not in control. I mean, we can make an impact and we can advocate, but at the end of the day, we're not in control of other people. We're not in control of how our
Yeah.
service providers go out of this. We're not in control of how much funding we get. We're not in control of much. And honestly, and it's a hard pill to swallow, but BC is still the leading province in Canada
Right.
for what we get. So gratitude. But I think the best thing parents can do is learn.
Yeah.
Learn the type of subtype your child has. Learn what your child needs. Help them unmask at home. The statistic is very scary for our kiddos that mask. When you reach adulthood with your child and you have not addressed these things in their childhood and youth, adolescent years, it is incredibly painful. Do your best to educate yourself, do your best to be their person. Let them unmask, be their safe one, create many positive memory bank experiences. You're going to get through this. I truly believe in every parent who truly is here to learn. They will have the qualities to go and search for the answers and apply that at home. Stick with us here. We are dedicated here at Awesome Match with the Raising Awesome team. We are absolutely parent coaches dedicated to educating parents, whether that's free
Yeah.
information or courses that we're putting together. So my biggest advice is to invest in yourself,
Yeah.
and all around that'll create an ecosystem that's safe for your child the best we can. Is that what you said?
Well, yes, pretty much in a nutshell.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thanks for sticking with us this long. We have 3 gifts for you for sticking with us this long. We promise you they're going to be gutters. Again, we're just a group of moms and autism parent consultants that are here to guide you guys through this year for free, give you all the tools we can, make it as simple as we can. So, gift 1, this is a free tool that we built specifically for BC families. You put in your household income and the number of children with an approved DTC, and it tells you your estimated supplement amount. So your actual number. It's free. There's no call, no form, and no sales pitch. Just go to raisingawesome.com/BC Autism Transition Year 2026. It's going to be right there on the page. Just click on the image to get to that supplement calculator.
Okay, gift 2. The government released an updated CYSN booklet in March 2026. It's 36 pages, and we've read it, both versions, compared it side by side, and we broke down what it's changed. And so what we want to give you is this side-by-side booklet with a breakdown of that. We turned it into a 5-minute read. You can choose what's relevant to you, skip what isn't, no 36-page doom scrolling. And it's all free in the same link.
And gift number 3, you have the awesome transition support team. And so this one I'm really proud of. We built a team specifically for BC families going through this transition. It's not just a DTC service. It's a team that includes DTC experts, medical practitioners that are available to sign your T2201 form, which is your disability tax, and RDI consultants. It's the same ones that you've been watching here on this channel. We are there to make sure every decision through your DTC process is actually guided by what's actually best for your child. So this isn't just paperwork. It's a child first direction every step. So a lot of families have been reaching out about RDI consulting, which right now is still covered under AFU funding. That window is closing in March 2027. So if you've actually been thinking about it, now's the time. Go to our website. We have it linked below to get the details on how to get started. We're taking families now, and the space is limited and it is filling up. To be really honest, this has been like something that parents really truly need. So don't wait. To expand on that a quick second, we have an RDI parent consulting team that is going to be helping parents go through this BC transition year, including success with the DTC, because that means success for your supplements and success for your child. Here are the 3 things I need you to do today based on where you landed in this episode. Number 1, did you find out that you were the 70%? And if so, there's nothing to action for the benefit. Just stay tuned. Our next episode is the supplement, and we'd bet that you qualify for that one. So subscribe because you don't want to miss that. If you are in the 30%, note in your phone which pathway you think you are on, then wait. MCFD will be reaching out to you starting as soon as July 2026, and watch your mail, email, and voicemail. And 2, DTC. Do you have one? If yes, go ahead, keep it. If no, plan now. The T2201 process is taking 10 to 15 weeks currently, with thousands of BC families applying this year. That wait is only going to get longer, and the families who act in the next 60 days are going to be ahead of that wave. Please make sure to look at your expiry date for your current DTC. If you have it, your supplement goes alongside that. If it expires, it expires. 3, use the free supplement calculator at raisingawesome.com/BC Autism Transition Year 2026. Even if you're in the 70%, your supplement number is the one piece of this new system almost every family will be able to access. So know your number.
And then one more thing. With the questions that we asked or we talked about today, I'm really curious which ones from you guys, the listeners, which one is on your mind? Which
Yeah.
one are you thinking about? Which one feels heavy? If there's more, leave them in the comments. We want to know these questions. We want to know what's on your mind. We want to help you.
Mhm.
So I really encourage you guys to leave comments, let us know so that we can, use our platform to help shape where we're going, what we need to answer, what we want to answer for you guys.
Yeah, and then our next episode again is going to be about the supplement. That's the monthly income tested one. So
Yeah.
definitely get on that and learn what you qualify for, and let's make sure your kiddo has the best
Support.
transition into
Yeah.
this year. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Stay awesome, guys.
Bye.
Bye.